Have you ever found yourself in that situation that you were anxious about? I mean, the one that you thought that this could be the worst thing that could possibly happen. Today is the worst day of my life. Today we're going to be talking about how we can turn that situation into your greatest opportunity. Now, I'm not sitting here telling you I got it all figured out. I'm not telling you I got the keys to life. I'm not telling you that I'm a professional at this. To be really real with you, I struggle with this on a daily basis. This is not a joke. This is not like something I'm just like, oh man, I'm gonna pitch it to them, and I really don't try to live it out. This is something I'm actually working on myself, but I believe that I've figured it out to be able to talk about my own journey, my own struggle, to be able to talk about how I'm overcoming this, and I hope it can help you too. One thing I've really been working on is discipline, and mainly focus on discipline with my Bible, which also, to talk about that is the reason why my videos have been so stagnant. I want to make sure that I'm giving you guys good quality. I absolutely refuse to give you guys just information that I just spit up. I want to make sure that I'm learning and actually giving you guys valuable information, whether it be from my life, from my studies in college, or from my Bible. I want to be able to tie it all in together to be able to make sure that you guys are leaving with fruitful information. I don't want to just give you videos just to keep up with my consistency. I'm going to remain consistent. I just want to make sure I remain consistent with the value of information I'm giving you guys as well. But back to what I was saying, I've been really focusing on being disciplined when reading my Bible. But one thing I've also been focusing on, and I've learned this actually from reading my word, is that I've been focusing on being disciplined as well with my mindsets, with how I'm seeing things, with my perspective of things, right? And what I've learned is that when I change my perspective, when I've learned to actually adopt a new perspective, it actually allows me to make that my default setting of things. So when bad things happen, when that worst day or when that thing that I've been anxious about finally happens, I actually have a new perspective on how I see it. You know, the other day, me and my wife were watching a show, and we love action movies, we love action shows, whatever it may be. And then being a vet, being a guy that grew up in the South, I love guns. I'm gonna be straight up with you. I love guns. So what happened was in the show, the main character man, this boy can shoot. He can hit a quarter from a mile away with a pistol, man. So he is good, man. He is a sharpshooter. He's a marksman, man, and he's working for the FBI, right? So everybody that he come in contact with, man, they're scared of him. They're scared of him. He draw down on them, they done, man. But there came a time where he found himself on the other side of the gun. He found himself on the other side of the barrel, right? And on this other side of the barrel, he lost all confidence. Because the thing that he was most powerful at, the thing that his greatest tool, he no longer had control of. He no longer had the power in his hands. He now had to use his verbal judo to get him out of the situation. Right? And what I believe is that a lot of times we live life on that side of the barrel. We live life this is our situation, but we live life on that side of the barrel. The barrel pointed at us. The man, I can't believe this happened to me. Man, I never thought this would happen. I'm doomed. I'm done. It's over. I don't know what else to do. I don't know. We live life on that side of the barrel. But what we have to do is we actually get the choice of what side of the barrel we want to live on. And we have to get our confidence back to live on the side where we actually have the gun in our hands. We're drawing down on the situation, and we're turning it into an opportunity. Paul says, he says, hey God, listen, look, Satan has given me this thorn. And sure, it was for a good reason. It was to keep Paul from becoming proud. But Satan has given me this thorn. Let's think about that for a second. And Paul's not talking literally. He's talking figuratively. But let's think literally for a second. Right? So, a thorn, man. Can you imagine? I don't care who you are. Can you imagine walking around with a thorn? With a thorn in your side? You can't even You can't, everywhere you turn, anything you do, you try to get in and out of the car, you try to talk. You talk from the abdomen. So anything you do, it's gonna bother you. It's there 24/7. So this is a great analogy by Paul. It's great because it talks about the constant nag of that he was dealing with. It talks about the constant frustration that he had to deal with. I mean, from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep, it's constantly this nag in your side. He asked God 3 times to remove this thorn. And God says, my grace is good. My grace is what you need. And also, I am strong in the weakness. In the weakness times, in your times of weakness, I am strong. I am strong in the times of weakness. Now, what I'm submitting to you today is that when we have these situations, when we have these things, we have to see what Paul did here. Paul changed, speaking with God, Paul changed his perspective. He changed his perspective on how he saw the whole situation. It was, hey, I got this thorn on my side. His perspective changed, his focus changed. As he says, hey, I got this thorn on my side. Instead of the thorn now, I'm focused on, God, how can you do your greatest work through this opportunity? And when things happen in life, when challenges happen in life, we have to see that, hey, this sucks. This sucks, but hey, this is a great opportunity for God to do his greatest work through me. For God to do his greatest work through me. Look, I was reading a story for class the other day. And in this story, it was about a man who was an Olympic swimmer, man. It's not a real story, but it's a good example here. He was an Olympic swimmer, man. And then he retired from that, and he actually ended up going to get a job as a businessman. And he had on a nice suit, just left Men's Warehouse, man, had on a nice suit. And as he was going to work, he was walking by a lake and he was texting. And as he was walking by this lake, he accidentally walked and fell into the lake. And he's like, man, I'm an Olympic swimmer. So he swam his way. As he's swimming his way out of the lake, he sees somebody else down the lake. And, oh, Lord, help me, help me, help me. So he swims over there and helps them get them out of the lake. As they're telling him thank you, he hears somebody else in the lake, help, help. So he runs over, runs back in the lake, swim over there and get them out of the lake. As he gets them to the shore, he goes, he's talking to them and a third person in the lake, help me, help me, help me. He runs back in the lake, swims, get them out of the lake. As he gets to the shore this time, he meets a man that says, hey, you are a great swimmer. Where did you learn? How did you learn, man? Tell me your story. How did you get so good at swimming? And as they're talking, as he's telling them his story, a fourth man is in the lake. Help me, help me, help me. The man that he's talking to says, hey, are you going to go help him? He said, absolutely not. He said, what I'm actually going to do is go up here to the front of this lake and figure out how people keep falling in. And it's a funny story and it's a silly story, but the message behind it is as you go through your own challenge. His challenge was, hey, I'm in the lake. I'm a good swimmer. He overcame that. He went and helped people that weren't good swimmers. So he changed his perspective. Hey, I used my trial to be able to help others. And then he even goes deeper. I'm going to go figure out why people keep falling in this lake. So that's how we turn our worst moment, our worst day into our greatest opportunity. And I personally believe, and I'm not saying this is easy. I'm not saying I got to figure it out. And I'm not even going to lie to you and tell you that I could do this if the worst thing, the things that you couldn't even imagine, like happened to me. I'm not going to lie and tell you I could do this, but I do believe that this can be applied to that. And it will be hard. It will be a challenge. But it goes back to that discipline. We have to wire our brains to be able to change and see that perspective, change perspective when these days come. Because they surely will come. We live life. We're living life every day. Challenges are going to happen. Some things are going to happen. The things that we are anxious about, unfortunately, they're going to happen. So we have to change our perspective to be able to see these things and see opportunities through these things. And if we still have life, that means we have an opportunity to be used. We have an opportunity to be a gift to somebody else. We have an opportunity to encourage somebody else because we are either overcoming it. Right now, I'm overcoming it. I'm overcoming this, right? So I'm telling you guys, or we've already overcame it. We have to start living our life, guys, as more than conquerors. I hope you guys got some valuable information from this. I hope you enjoyed the video. I love you guys, and I will see y'all next week.